on obviously 40-point wins, a lot of offense, but the defense specifically on Higginbottom. How much did y'all drill on that, and how did you think it really played out?
I mean, obviously she was a key to. She was a target on our scouting report. So was Smith, and that didn't work. I mean, that didn't work out in our favor. But if you can disrupt, we wanted to disrupt and not give her Higginbottom great looks. Just try to make her work for everything. And sometimes when you do that, it's somewhat disruptive, and then somebody else ends up, having a good night. But if you can take, if you can take the head of the snake, usually the rest you can you can put yourself in a position where you can win a basketball game.
Don, y'all's margin for victory in these 3 wins after the 3 losses is just under 40 points. I know that you've mentioned you feel like you guys are at your best in these situations, but what makes this team so good at being able to bounce back?
I think we don't like to lose, obviously, and we don't like to lose the way we've lost the 3 games, and there's a certain focus to just get back to our habits, and hopefully we can continue that as we, as the regular season comes to a close, and we got some games in which we got to play well in order for us to win.
When you tell us yesterday that you need this team to get back to its identity, then it didn't do that in the losses, how close is what you saw tonight to that identity that you kind of have in your mind?
I thought we were more like ourselves when it came to just the toughness piece of it, the extra efforts on the boards, the loose balls. I thought we wanted to win all of them. It wasn't any of them that we just allowed to just happen without some resistance. So I was happy about that. I was happy that, Chloe, Chloe played well. Chloe played like Chloe. Fagan did her job defensively. Joyce continues to play consistently. I thought Lay played really efficiently, sharing the basketball, making incredible passes and plays. Tessa saw the ball go in. Breezy saw the ball go in. And I was happy for Miriam. Obviously it's hard playing your former team. But I thought she looked more relaxed than like any time during the season. And she had reason to kind of be nervous about playing against her former team. But I just thought she gave us some really good minutes. We put her in early to see what she would look like, and she just looked calm. And I hope this performance will allow her to help us, because there's something there. There's some skills there. She rebounds the basketball. It's just sometimes she probably wants to play perfectly and wants to do all the right things, and sometimes that gets in the way. But I'm hoping this is it, that she can end up helping us somewhere, down the line.
You already talked about Malaysia a little bit, but earlier in the year you told me that it's not addition or subtraction, or it's not subtraction with her, it's addition. It's kind of figuring out how she brings that flair into these games. I guess tonight it felt like she was really able to master the moments and when those flashy plays worked. I guess, did you see it that way? And what was Arkansas, doing that allowed her to kind of step in the gas in that direction?
Lay has a real good understanding of what needs to happen. Like, she really does. I think in the moment, I don't think she could help herself at times. But I thought today was just great. Like, they were timely. They were what she was supposed to do in that situation. She didn't force a shot. She dumped it off a few times. She's very, very unselfish. So I just thought she just met the moment. I think the biggest thing that she's doing is defending. She's competing on the other side of the floor. She puts herself in a position where she can do that. And it worked out. I don't think she had any turnovers in this particular game. Very efficient from the floor. she's growing. Like, she really is growing. She's learning. She's growing. She's more active in practice. She's she's using her voice in practice. So it's always a good thing when a young player starts to utilize their voice and they understand their power.
Yeah, Coach, just to follow up on Lay, like obviously she has a very deep bag of different moves that she pulls out. Do any of those surprise you at any point? I know you see it a lot in practice as well. Or are there any moments where you tense up and just kind of wonder what's about to happen?
I do. I do. I mean, I missed almost 2 or 3 of her assists because I was sitting and the official was like right in my viewpoint. So I missed a couple of dumps that she had to Joyce. Like, I know she's going to do something. Like, if she is on the break, we pass the ball up to her, she's gonna do something. I just hope it's something that's positive, that we can get a bucket, a point, something. Either way, the crowd's going to do their thing and be, really, really supportive of whatever she does. So I just, it's fun to just watch her learn and grow. Like she is probably just a shell of, she's grown so much just from practice, just her attention to detail in practice, her communication and knowing that, if she takes an ill-advised shot, she'll just look and she's like, no bad shot. She'll say something like that where, last year she would take it and she'd be like, I can make that. Like whether it's good or bad. But, when you communicate a little bit different, you have an understanding and I know I can't wait to see the finished product of where I don't really have to say anything to her and she just knows. So that's pretty cool. But it was a good game for like all of our players. Raven's stat line isn't great, but some of the things that she's doing is what she's working on for her. That's going to end up helping us this season.
Coach Staley, one of the things that you guys did tremendously tonight on both sides was rebounding, especially on the offensive side. You guys had 23 offensive rebounds compared to only 6 from Arkansas, and you guys had 57 total rebounds compared to only 23 from Arkansas. So what I wanted to ask is, did you guys have a certain plan, like establishing yourselves in the paint, or what was the intention for that?
I mean, that's the key. You win the paint. You put yourself in a position to increase your chances of winning. One is just making layups. That's one. Just make layups. 2 is rebounding. I thought Chloe really spearheaded her effort to go in there and get some rebounds. I knew she was going to have a good game today. Like, I think Chloe's been just trying to play consistent for us, play the right way. Like, I put a lot of pressure on Chloe. I do. A lot of pressure because I feel like she's the player that can make really great basketball decisions and plays. And when she doesn't do that for us, we're a different basketball team. So, when you explain it to her like that, I think it clears her head so she can go out there and do the things that we need her to do in order for us to, have success out there on the court. We'll finish on this side with Lulu.
You mentioned Lay's growth, and just going back to that, she sat up here and said that she was not really thinking about Sunday, and obviously she was a little emotional after that loss. I guess, is that a certain point of growth specifically that you think maybe would have been different last year in terms of the emotional maturity and kind of the ability to rebound so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, Lay was mad. I mean, she was mad after the game. And, you can be mad and hold it in, or you can be mad and just kind of voice your opinion about things. And she was one that voiced her opinion. And it's good to hear it from a young player. It's good to hear it from a competitor. Like, a competitor doesn't like anything about Sunday. What happened? Not one thing. You can draw some positives from it, but bottom line is You know, a competitor doesn't like to be in that situation where, you know, we are as talented, right? Like, I've never been a part of a loss like that with as much talent, like ever. So that was a first for us, and she felt it, and she voiced it, and she's practicing like she didn't like it, and everybody else is practicing like they didn't like it, and hopefully we won't ever see that type of performance again. Thank you, Coach. Thank you.